Hi, welcome to Project Ann Arbor. We're just about to hand over this beautifully renovated home back to the homeowners. This home was originally built 35 years ago by very good friends of mine, and I originally decorated it for them 25 years ago, but it was time for an overhaul. This staircase that we see behind me was where one of the biggest changes was made. Before it was all pickets, and they were your typical orange pickets, and they ran along the back and up the sides. You can see we've modernized it by bringing in drywall, and this really lets the staircase be the focus. It's a beautifully built house. The architecture is incredible, but I've always felt that it didn't pay homage to the architecture. So in this particular renovation, I really tried to do that. Let's see one of my favorite reveals so far. So sometimes design isn't about trashing everything and starting new. In real life, clients have heirlooms that they want to keep. They have their own ideas they want you to incorporate. And sometimes design is as simple as moving things around. So case in point, our dining room. This was actually originally designed as the living room, with the smaller room being their dining room. And for many, many, many years, they had it set up that way. The problem was this: the dining room was too small when they entertained. And this large area housed a baby grand piano, but really nothing else. So when we talked about doing the renovation, the homeowner made it clear she didn't want to buy furniture to fill the space because nobody was really using those rooms. So the first thing I did was I flipped the two rooms. The one room that they did use, the dining room, while a few extra steps away from the kitchen, was really the room that needed the most space. So we reused her dining table. Her chairs were sentimental. What we did was we eliminated the side chairs while keeping her head chairs. I painted them out. This is a trick a lot of you will have seen I've done many times before. Painted them out and recovered them. And these chairs here that we're using now as our side tables were actually the kitchen chairs that I did for her 25 years ago. So they were still in great shape, so we decided to bring them here into the dining room when we replaced the kitchen chairs. We also kept her old buffet. Again, paint, new handle, giving it a new lease of life on life. The big focal point is obviously this back wall. As soon as I knew we were doing this renovation, I knew there was this paper that I wanted to use. I had a vision in my head of what it would look like, and that it would have palm trees, because my client is a lover of plants. They love vacationing in Aruba. They just love everything about the greenery. So I knew I wanted to bring that element. And so it was really my starting point. I was lucky, I did the work, enough to find a color scheme that worked with her original drapes, which again the client wanted to keep, as well as these original chairs. So now what we have is this fabulous space, a table that can be extended in order to accommodate their family, which is rapidly growing. And we've moved the baby grand to the smaller space, made it a more intimate space for entertaining. Have a look. So we're here in the kitchen proper. For those of you who follow me, you know that where possible, I always like to give a little segregated area as a coffee station and a snack area. This allows people who are non-chefs to stay out of the chef's way. So we have a small island, but it's mighty. First off, let's talk about this beautiful countertop waterfall. It is a leather finish quartzite. So again, let's talk about our countertop materials. We have marble, we have granite, we have quartz, which is man-made. This is going to be one of the toughest finishes you can get. It's going to make it impervious to staining, to etching. Again, leather finish. It allows you to use these beautiful natural stones without any worry of any issues with it. In our island, we've housed a microwave, we've got garbage, we've got, of course, the sink and a dishwasher. I didn't bother doing panel ready here because really the guests don't see the dishwasher. So that's a good trick for a place to save money. When the dishwasher is not visible, don't bother paneling it. However, I did panel our refrigerator. So you're going to see in a minute this beautiful pantry wall that we've done where our refrigerator is built in and really blends in because it is an open family room kitchen scenario. It doesn't feel kitcheny because we've kind of given it this built-in look. Let's take a look at the rest of it. So we're at our pantry wall. So here's our panel ready fridge, and it is book matched on either side by these pantries. Now if I open one up, full disclosure as usual, we've got our tray dividers in here, and then we've got rolling shelves. You're going to notice that I've got drawers along the bottom. You'll see that I took that detail right through to the freezer part of the fridge. So it really gives a long, continuous flow to this wall. We also have only 8-foot ceilings here, but I felt it was important to do a proper fascia and crown molding to give the luxe vibe that we were looking for. For the paint color, custom mixed color. I took my inspiration from the fabrics in the adjoining family room to come up with this soft color. And then I've mixed it with a rift cut oak in the island that, again, custom stain. And you'll see that we brought these two colors into the rest of the space. Behind me, we've mixed countertops now. We've got porcelain. So when you're mixing countertops, it's important not only to look at the colors, but that the patterns flow together. You want to remember you're creating a yin and yang. So you're not trying to match them up, but you're actually trying to go against the grain. Again, my signature under cabinet lights and plugs. This way our beautiful backsplash remains uninterrupted. And I took this, what's normally a difficult area to design, this corner space, and I've tried to utilize every inch of space in here. So here we've brought in a little bit of the contrast of the rift cut oak from our island and did this cookbook niche. And then I want to show you this little contraption. I'm not a fan of garage doors. So what I've done is we've created this pop-up door that slides back. I've run my countertop right through and we've got a plug back there. So now all of her baking stuff is in here, but she doesn't have to lift her mixer out. She can just drag it along this continuous countertop. So that's a great way to use space that's otherwise a difficult corner to design. Not a big kitchen, but again, high-end appliances, a beautiful hood fan. We've done this fabulous little detail here with the backsplash. So a lot of details in this space, and you'll see that that's carried out in the rest of the room. So we're now in what I really feel is the jewel of this kitchen. This actually used to be a walk-in pantry closet. And I remember the first time coming to this house to visit my girlfriend and her husband. It was the first thing in my mind that had to go. And I waited 35 years to see it happen. So what I've done is our coffee station. Again, porcelain tops, you've seen it in the kitchen. I brought in the rift cut detail from the island to tie everything together, and then we've got the painted cabinets from, again, the kitchen and family room. These fabulous floating shelves lit up. Again, a collection of items that came from her late mother, pieces of artwork that mean things to her, our coffee kettle, of course, and just a completely fabulous space. And I want to talk for a minute about this screen that we designed. So this is actually a supporting wall, and there were supporting posts here at the corner when we took it, the drywall down. So what we've done is we've moved the supports back here, doubled up on them. And then because of the gauge of this metal, we are actually supporting the upstairs without it being something that's unsightly. So this brings in our brass, and it's also, again, a very personal piece because the husband's business is doing metal fabrication, and his boys have now taken over the business. So it's a really nice way to pay homage to really what built this house. So we're in the eating area. One of the things I want to mention is this house was custom built about 35 years ago. And there were things that the homeowner loved that she didn't want to get rid of. And as most of us have a husband who is in control of the budget, and he was worried that we were going to throw everything out. So one of the things I kept was this light fixture. And this is a polished nickel fixture. I wanted to incorporate brass, and you'll see where I brought brass in touches of accessories in the handles, but I left the key items in polished nickel to respect this. We also took our color palette from these Roman blinds, which originally I did 25 years ago, and I actually still love them and still felt the color was relevant. So what we did do is we brought in this beautiful table. You can see it's got a black glass top, which helps pick up the black accents we've been bringing with it, in the elements and in the accessories. And then we did these chairs. Now these are, again, you've heard me talk about this, store-bought. They were the shape that I wanted, but not the fabrics. And it was less expensive for me to buy them store-bought and then to recover them as opposed to having a custom frame made. Again, another trick when you're looking at ways of luxing things up and customizing them while saving money. And you can see this fabulous fabric at the back actually has the color of both our island marble as well as our porcelain in it, tying them together. And then one of the tricks I love to do in a kitchen is to use vinyl fabric on the inside. Whether it's kids or adults, spills happen. This ensures that we're not going to cry over spilled milk. So we're in the family room, and this is a perfect spot to show you how the kitchen ties into this great room. Here you see the rift cut oak in our custom stain finish with our painted finish. Again, a trick to luxing things up but keeping the cost down a bit. We've got the look of drawers right across the bottom to match what we've done in the kitchen. But these again actually open as drawers. And the reason for this is to keep the cost down, but I still wanted that luxury look of a dresser type thing on either side of this spectacular limestone fireplace. Again, for those who follow me, you know there's always going to be antique mirror in one of my projects. Here we see it above the fireplace. And if you saw one of our YouTubes where we style the shelf, these are them here. Floating rift cut oak. We've got all custom furnishings in the room. And one of the interesting pieces in this room is the Lazy Boy sofa that we did. The client wanted space for their large family. They've got grandchildren on the way and having arrived. So they want to make sure that as the family grows that they can accommodate everybody. But of course the husband wanted comfort while watching TV. So we've got the swivel chair, we've got this little love seat here, and we've got the fabulous Lazy Boy that reclines on two of the seats. So I hope you've enjoyed Project Ann Arbor's tour as much as I did renovating it. This is really one of my favorite before and afters. The clients, again, old friends, were really fabulous to work with, and really the synergy of a designer-client relationship is based on trust, and I had their full trust. Even where they thought, I'm not sure about it, they went with it, and in the end were ecstatic about the results. Thanks for coming by. We'll see you again soon.